Hello friends, welcome to Suresh Agarwal's Mathematics Shortcuts. Yet another video in which I'll be talking about naming elementary shapes. Now this is the chapter which is included in the curriculum for class 6 students, and it finds wide applicability in most of the competitive exams because this forms the base of many higher geometrical concepts. So this is part 2 in which I'll be discussing the concepts related to circles. So naming elementary shapes part 2. And let me tell you again, the best offers going on right now. So many of the students taking advantage of these offers and upskilling themselves. They give me such a good review of these ebook of short tricks. They are able to develop 10 times faster speed of calculation. Over 24 topics covered in the ebook, 350 mathematics short tricks to calculate 10 times faster. We are giving the reasoning course also, the CBSE practice worksheets. If you want a compilation of CBSE worksheet questions, not found anywhere on the internet or in any print form in any textbook, these worksheets will prove useful and amazing for preparation of your school exams. And obviously, the competitive exam aspirants, if you get hold of a copy of these worksheets and solve every question mentioned in that, you are going to create wonders in the exams. So WhatsApp 9896369963 to get a copy of this, or you can visit www.sureshagarwal.in. That's for my Indian friends, sureshagarwal.in. And for this particular lecture also, I have made a separate PDF in which we have some around 60 questions, practice questions. The link of that 60 question PDF is given in the description box below. You can just click that and it will take you to the external website which contains the required worksheet. So friends, let's see the questions which I have for this video. See, the concept is that of a quadrilateral first. Draw a quadrilateral ABCD. So suppose you have a quadrilateral ABCD like this, any quadrilateral ABCD, the shape is not particular. So you know that you have to name the quadrilateral by writing ABCD in order. You can either go clockwise or go anti-clockwise starting from any vertex. Draw its diagonals AC and BD. So AC is this diagonal and BD is this diagonal. Obviously, there will be straight lines when you use scale. I'm not using scale here, and that's why the figure is looking little haywire. And the point of intersection of the diagonals is to be named as P. So this is the basic question in which he asks you to draw any quadrilateral. So you should understand that it's a four-sided figure. What are the diagonals? Diagonals are the lines which join the opposite vertices of the quadrilateral, and the point of intersection of the diagonals, that is P, that is to be marked as P. Okay, now the figure which is given alongside this figure, it is again a quadrilateral PQRS. So we need to find what are the pair of opposite sides. See, there are two pairs of opposite sides in any quadrilateral. So if you see one of the sides as PQ, then opposite to that you have the side SR. And if you see the side PS, opposite to that you have the side QR, right? So when you are talking about the opposite sides, PQ and SR, it forms one pair, and PS and QR forms the other pair. So there are two pairs of opposite sides. And when you talk about adjacent sides, what does adjacent mean? Adjacent means which have something in common, right? So whenever you are talking about the adjacent sides, then there are four pairs of adjacent sides. Yes, four pairs. If you see PQ, then related to PQ, the PQ line PQ ends at Q and line QR starts from Q. So PQ and QR forms the first pair of adjacent sides, PQ and QR. And if you see QR, it terminates at R and RS starts from R, and therefore QR and RS forms the second pair of adjacent sides. Likewise, RS terminates at S and SP starts at S, and therefore these two are also adjacent sides. And the final pair, SP ends at P and PQ starts at P. So PQ and SP, they also form a pair of adjacent sides. So in a quadrilateral, you have two pairs of opposite sides and four pairs of adjacent sides. That is the first question for you. Now let's see the second question. The second question says, draw any circle. Now suppose you draw a circle like this using any radius and mark its center as T. So you should know that the point at which you place the compass, that is called the center. Let's mark it as T. Draw any segment larger than a semicircle. Now you should know what is a semicircle. See, when you talk about a semicircle, it is the line, the diameter, which divides the circle into two equal halves, and those two equal halves are known as semicircles. But if the diameter is reduced, like the length is reduced like this, suppose this PQ, this is not the diameter, obviously it is not passing through the center, it is called a chord, 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 and this chord divides the circle into two parts. One of them is very small, I'm shading that, look at this, and the unshaded part. There are two parts of the circle, they are not equal. So this is the larger segment, or it is known as the major segment. It is known as the major segment, and the smaller one which I have shaded is known as the minor segment. So that's what he is asking you to do in the second question, to mark the major segment in a circle. Now if you see question number 3, he is asking you to name the figures or the regions which are represented by 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this figure. If you see 1, 2, not 2 exactly, let's see 3 and 4. They all are, a circle, and then from the center you are drawing two radius and enclosing something between the two radii like this. The region enclosed by an arc of a circle and two radii, just like the piece of a pizza, right? We cut the pizza like this, right? So these pieces of the circle are known as sectors, and therefore figure 1, that is the region 1, region 3 and region 4 all are sectors. And what about the region 2? So I told you just now, the major segment and the minor segment are formed by chords. So if you see the second part, it is a minor segment. It is not more than a semicircle, it is less than a semicircle, and therefore it forms a minor segment. So understanding works for us, right? Let's see the last slide and we will be through with this video. Question number 4 here. There's a figure given there. I'll mark it for you. This figure. We need to name two chords. And I told you what are chords. Chords are a chord. It's a straight line. The end points of the straight line should lie on the circumference of the circle. That means any line which completely lies inside a circle and the extremities of the line lie on the perimeter or the boundary of the circle. They are called chords. If you watch carefully, the chords in this circle, in this figure which is given there, AB, A is on the circle, B is on the circle, and it's a straight line. CD, C is on the circle, D is on the circle, and CD is a straight line. So they are chords. Likewise, if you have to name some radii, that means radius, plural is radii, then you have to start from the center of the circle O. So from O, you can see some lines which are joining the point on the circumference. OD, OE, OF, all these are radii of the circle. And finally, 6 points lying on the circumference. That means points which are on the boundary of the circle. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the 6 points which lie on the boundary of the circle. Now, the final question there, I told you already that if you have the diameter of a circle, diameter is any line which passes through the center. So in this case, this point O is the center of the circle, and this point A lies on the boundary. The point B also lies on the boundary, and therefore this line AB is known as the diameter of the circle. And what does the diameter do? The diameter divides the circle into two equal parts, and therefore the region 1 and region 2 which are formed by the diameter are known as semicircles. So friends, a very informative video for all the students of class 6 who are learning to name these elementary shapes. They should understand what's a chord, what's a diameter, what's a segment, what is a sector, when does a diameter become a chord, or is the diameter the longest chord. All these things are very useful when it comes to basic maths. So friends, if you like this video, do share it with all your friends. You can see the playlist in which I have put all the videos of class 6 in a sequence. Watch them in a sequence and get benefited. I'm sure you're going to crack your exams, school exams, very comfortably, and you're going to score full marks in them. So if you want to download a copy of the detailed practice worksheet based on this concept, click the link given in the description box below and download it. I tell you, the costing of those worksheets is just nothing, just nothing. Do subscribe the channel, click the bell shaped icon for getting all the notifications. Thanks for watching this and all the best.